Yeah, hi everyone, and welcome back to my third installation in Recovery with Ike in regards to dealing with gambling addiction. Thanks again to all the team. Thank you to all the guys. It's been an amazing journey. Today has been a packed day so far. I've had lots of phone time with people who've been reaching out, touching base with me. Lots of really interesting conversations, and I really want to say thank you just for giving me that feedback and letting me know that what I'm doing here is actually touching you and you're feeling some benefit from it. The people that are on my GRAT group, thank you for all of your lovely messages. It's so heartwarming to scroll through and just see all of the things that people are grateful for, and just being able to be a part of that journey. And people even saying, oh, thank you to me for putting them on the GRAT group. It's beautiful. I'm loving it. What are we going to do about this epidemic that's sweeping the world right now? And no, I'm not talking about the obvious one. I'm talking about gambling, online gambling. How easy it is to access and dealing with the problem of it. Now, I'm not that guy saying that it's bad. Yeah, it's not good, it's not bad, it is what it is. For me, it's the issues that people are facing in dealing with that is what is bad. And it's an opportunity for what I believe is spiritual growth. In the UK, the online gaming industry, I think, is worth 14.3 billion last year. That's 14.3 billion. That's a lot of money. I myself was thinking about building an online gaming app. I was actually in the process of developing one, and I may well actually go back to it. Oddly enough, the app I was building doesn't have to adhere to the gambling regulatory framework because of the nature of it. But look, to be honest with you, it did have an element of gambling to it, where you could pay some money to win a prize. That's gambling, and the way we had to get around it. Let's think about how easy it is. You've got apps, you've got thousands of sites. I'm not going to call out any specific companies here because that's not what this is about. But it's so readily, easily accessible and freely available to people, to addicts. So let's say, for example, you're addicted, you've overspent, and you want to self-exclude yourself. So you delete yourself from all the apps, and you block yourself from certain sites. Believe you me, they've got a way of getting at you. They send you an email, £50 free bet. I like football. Yeah, I sometimes have a little flutter on the football. And I'll never forget when I was younger, one of my aunties, she used to like the pools. Yeah, I think she used to get those results from the papers, and they'll go to the bookies and they'll do a little accumulator of the pools. I never did it, but I always remember her talking about the pools, and she's going to win the pools one day and live a rich, wealthy life from the winnings from her gambling. She wasn't an addict, but it's just something that came up to my mind. That you can see where that addiction might stem from. That dream, that thought that you're going to live a life beyond your wildest dreams because you're going to have this money coming from the bet. But often it's the case that it's just the process of that moment of suspense when you've placed your bet and you're waiting for the bet to close out. Yeah, that is what I think is the part of the addictive nature of it. Think about it, yeah. Gambling is an addiction, right? But if you look at it in comparison to other addictions like alcohol or drugs or something like that, it's really difficult to spot it, because if someone's smoking drugs, you can smell it, or you can see that they've got some behavioural change. They look really shady, or something's going on, right? Drinking alcohol, they get drunk, falling over, blacking out, whatever else. Emotional addiction, you can see that they're on a roller coaster. But think about a gambling addiction, how easy that is to hide. Especially if you've got it in your phone or on an app or something like that. You could be sitting in a room full of people and gambling away. My point is it's a very difficult thing to spot. And if you're going through it, you know, and or someone's going through it, and you can't tell it's happening, how do you help them deal with it? It only ever really manifests when the financial situation appears, because you know the short-term effect of it you won't really notice. There's no obvious characteristic that says that, oh my gosh, you've got an addiction to gambling, other than if the individual themselves decides to actually admit it. I'm fortunate enough to say that I haven't been grasped by the throes of a gambling addiction. However, I have spoken with a number of people, I've worked with a number of people, and I've actually been impacted by people who have had issues with their gambling addiction. And what my understanding of it is that they get caught in that moment of suspense where it could go well, or it could go well ultimately, but often it goes wrong. And it's that when it does go wrong, because of the way their brain is rewired, that they seek another bet, so to say, to get them out of that hole. And more often than not, it gets them further into the hole. Now, the funny thing is even if it gets them out of the hole, because of the way their brain is wired, they then go back and bet again, and eventually they will go back into that hole. So it's really about managing yourself. How do you manage your life in a way that you don't seek that external gratification, that suspense from a substance or an emotional state or a thing, an external thing, to give you that gratification, that experience of self? How do you find that within you? And that's where the spiritual recovery comes in. And we're going to talk about that more later on down the line, but I just want to really delve a bit deeper into sort of gambling and the how we identify the addict and how we identify it in ourselves. So it comes to my attention that from yesterday's video, I was supposed to have the self-test link. I would actually place it in this one. So look, let's say you are thinking to yourself, maybe there is an issue, take the test. It's free. Yeah, the link is going to be in the bio today. Please take that test. The thing is if you want to find a way to actually stop doing something, the way to do it, in my experience, is when you feel that impulse, that impulse to gamble, it's at that point that you need to kind of distance yourself from it, and it's almost like stepping out of yourself and looking at yourself and giving yourself a piece of advice. And it's sometimes quite difficult to do on your own. So that's where you kind of reach out to somebody. And that's what we're here to do. That's what I'm talking about. That's why I'm actually doing this, because I want you to reach out to me, or somebody in my team, or find somebody that you know that's been through something that can help you and is willing to guide you through it. But it's about distancing yourself from the situation and looking at it and being able to look at the impact of it. So let's say if it's gambling, you know, what happens if I lose that money? Am I living my true self? Am I being true to my family? Have I made promises to myself or to family members or to my boss or friends or whoever it may be that I'm not going to do this thing anymore? I'm not going to continue this behavior. And in being able to do that, honestly, you often can catch the behavior before it actually happens. Now, the other flip side of that is, let's say it actually happens and you do it. Still reach out and let someone know, because this isn't about a judgment. Genuinely, I don't know. I mean, maybe not go back and tell your wife you gambled if you promised that you haven't. But if it's your wife and she loves you, or you know, your partner and they really care for you, then maybe they will be there for you. But being honest and being open and real and true to yourself and true about yourself is where it's at. Guys, listen, reach out to us. Yeah, this is what we're here for. Drop us a comment, drop us a message, click a like, let us know that you're out there. And even if you don't want to do it publicly, reach out to me personally. I'm overwhelmed with the responses that I've been getting, and to the people that have touched base with me, I will continue doing this. You know, it's just some food for thought, guys, and I want to add some value to the world. Thank you.